Hello everybody, my name's Brendan Casting, I'm the project manager down at Grow Speke, and this is my colleague Justin Dalrymple. So today we're starting our new series of cook and eat, cook along sessions. Now we've managed to get some fantastic funding from Merseyside Recycling and Waste Authority to fund 12 cook and eat sessions throughout the seasons now, going through till next March. So this is session 1 of 12, starting today. The funding through Merseyside Recycling and Waste Authority is funding the project called Let's Speak About Food. So it's all about reusing what you've got in your fridge, not buying stuff that you're gonna throw in the bin, buying quality produce at a good price, and having fantastic nutritional food. We'll hand you over to Justin, and we'll do some little zoom in, show you how to do some basic skills, some purchasing choices Justin's going to go through, and how to do some basics. Justin, what are we doing today?
We're going to make a very simple pasta. All the kids love pasta with tomatoes. Who doesn't love tomatoes? So simple tomato pasta, but there's lots of things you can start, you can do from that. So all basic recipes in my kitchen and a lot of kitchens start off with onions. So I'm just taking off the these onions were due to be thrown away. They were in the throwaway pile. Cutting up an onion like that, turn it over. If you get the kids to do this with you, it's great. So take it all the way, not all the way down like that, and then be a bit chefy. Take it all across like this, move that across, and then it's a rustic Italian meal. I don't even say what we're cooking today, did we? It's a tuna pasta with hidden vegetables. This, oh carrot, see where an actual rabbit's eating that from the top. That was due to be rejected. No, the rabbit hasn't eaten from the top there, but you can see it's not the greatest of carrots, but there's nothing wrong with it nutritionally. I'll just show you, now I'm talking about this lovely carrot. So you take it across there, and rather than peel it, what I'll do is, this is our little compost here, I'll just take the back of the knife and I'll strike it down like that. Might go a little bit brown, but doesn't matter. Wasn't that easy. And nothing against the way people cut carrots, but I don't like carrots cut in the round. Reminds me of overcooked carrots. So what I do is I take them down here. So I've left that pan on, the heat, doesn't matter. And because we're going to put this like a hidden vegetable, I want to cut up small. So I'm going to get that on pretty soon with the onions. So I'm cutting it up like that. Keep the fingers out of the way. See, notice how my fingers are tucked away like this. I quite often forget myself, but you only have to cut yourself once. Almost cut my finger off there one time. So don't even need to look at what I'm doing. When you're that good, keep your fingers out of the way. You can feel the knife. See that? Pretty easy. Right, tuna. I would never buy the tuna with the spring water. Doesn't matter if it's spring water. Really, you've got to have it in oil. And the more expensive oil, the better. This is sunflower oil, Prince's. Okay, got this from Fair Share as well. So the beauty of this, it's got oil that's been flavoured by the tuna, and because we're making tuna pasta, we don't mind a bit of tuna flavour. In fact, we're loving the tuna flavour. So I'm putting the oil in there like that. So you don't even have to buy any oil. That's what I love about this recipe. So I'll quickly get some carrots in there. Half a carrot. The carrot's going to take longer to cook than everything else, really. And the secret is to not hide vegetables away, but you can, when you look round your fridge and you see all those little bits of vegetables and stuff, we'll be doing later on menus that I call like fridge soup. Well, it's not my name, it's what my mum calls it. When you look in the fridge and there's all bits and bobs left over from other meals that haven't been used, what you do with that is make fridge soup, and it tastes delicious. Right, so I've chopped that quite up as well as I normally would do. Doesn't really matter. All these meals really are not going to be any fancy meals. These are sort of meals you cook just in the week to feed the family, the kids, obviously. So making a bit of a mess, should be tidying up as I go. If it was on MasterChef, I'll be sacked off already. I've got still a bit of oil in there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. Don't be scared of oil. We know how much is going in. This is going to be split between only me and Brendan today, or Brendan and I should I say, but there's nothing wrong with that because we know how much has gone in and it's not hidden away, and that's going to be divided by 4 people, so that's not an issue if you think it's getting a bit calorific. So I'm going to tip this away somewhere. I could have stuck some mushrooms in there, of course. Maybe that's overplaying it. I'll put a few mushrooms in, why not? They're here. So you notice that we'll chop these up a bit more. These are again from Fair Share. If nobody likes mushrooms, then don't put them in. It's quite simple, but if your kids are helping you cut up things, in my experience, normally they eat it.
Just a little tip on mushrooms, that mushrooms are one of the worst offenders of being thrown in bins, because they sit in the bottom of the fridge.
Done it myself.
And either go like sticky gloop or they freeze in the bottom of the fridge. Don't buy them in punnets like that. Don't buy them that have already been chopped, really. We got these for free, which is brilliant. Buy them fresh, so go into the supermarket and just get 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you need for that meal, in a paper bag, and they're about 40% cheaper than if you buy them in the plastic container. Not many people know that, but it's actually true. And you just use what you need, and you end up not throwing them away. And they're usually fresher as well. They're not being sat in cellophane for a good week and getting really sweaty.
Nobody wants sweaty food. You know, when you buy any food you buy, it's better in greaseproof paper than it is in plastic, and we don't want too much plastic in the world. There's too much plastic floating around. So all the vegetables are nicely cooked. See how I'm doing that? Oh yes, smells nice. You don't need to put, the basics of this is, if you just had an onion, put the onion in. If you just had an onion and pepper, if you just had a pepper, put it in. I wouldn't just put the carrot in, but the carrot's going to be sort of lost amongst it, and the carrot will be deliciously sweet, and it'll add a lot to the meal. So there goes the tuna. I'm going to stick in some chunky chopped tomatoes. It doesn't really matter, you can use passata. If the tomatoes are not quite as good as quality, basically it comes down to cost, doesn't it? These are from one of the cost cutting supermarkets. They're probably about 30p, but you can spend £2 on a tin of tomatoes, really. But who needs to? Because there's a little secret with tomatoes that maybe not quite as good. Oops. Pinch of sugar. That'll turn those, make them feel more riper.
Not with coffee in or tea though.
So, no. So as a little seasoning, it's fine, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that. And all this needs now is time. We've already put time in, but what I mean is that needs to, the difference between a good pasta sauce and a not so good pasta sauce is leaving it to reduce a bit and the flavours to concentrate. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for about a little bit of water in so it cooks down better, so it doesn't get too sticky, and that's done. We're just going to wait 10 minutes for that. Right, welcome back. As you can see, Brendan comes in closer here. That's reduced nicely. Because we're doing pasta, we've got pasta water here, and that's the lots of Italian pasta meals require you put pasta water in to give it a bit of sauce, because it's simple food. So
why is that, just because it's got some starch in the water?
It thickens it out, so adds a bit of just a basic bit of wetness, a bit of moisture. So you could be making, for instance, if you made a simple pasta, a spaghetti, garlic, olive oil, pepper, you'd put a little bit of pasta water in, reserve some pasta water, put it in with the olive oil and the garlic and pepper, and it would emulsify it, and then with parmesan on there, you'd have a delicious meal that basically from store covered ingredients cost practically nothing. Parmesan is expensive, but a little goes a long way. So that's why you reserve the water, so it does provide, with the cheese you get some emulsion as basically sauce, or with oil or butter. So as you can see, we're not really in our home kitchen here, we're in the polytunnel, so we did forget to bring a few things like a colander, but fortunately it's got a few holes on this, so we can just drain out the pasta and making sure you don't lose it all. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit of water left there. Shake it out a bit. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Quite a lot of pasta there. Probably slightly overdone, but we can live with that. I'm going to keep some of the pasta back because I might use that in a moment to do put it in another meal at the end. Maybe make a minestrone soup. Maybe we don't. We're going to make it up. Right, so this is what the Italians do. Most people put the pasta in a bowl and then put the sauce on top. This way, the star really, I mean, there should be more pasta in there. It's only enough for me and Brendan today. But if I was, there's enough actual sauce there, maybe a little bit stiff possibly. If there's any water in there, loosen it up a bit. See what I mean? If I kept some water back, that would be. So if I put more pasta in that, then that's enough for 4 people. And if it's tuna, the Italians would never dream of putting cheese with fish, but there is a few exceptions. Everybody loves cheese, cheesy beansy tuna baked potatoes, don't they? Well, you can put cheese in this, but I don't think it needs it today because it's tasty enough. So there you go. The star of any pasta meal should be the pasta. Hopefully, the sauce is literally just the flavouring.
Do you want to recap the ingredients quickly then, Justin, for people?
Yeah. So it's a movable feast in the sense that the only things that definitely go in this meal, and then you can play around with it after that, is the oil from the tin of tuna, the onion. I would always put in garlic. I would always put some other seasoning like chili or paprika, which I didn't actually put in, but you can sprinkle on top if you want. And any herb like oregano if you look like oregano. Then you just put in, fry the onion off, and you could put pepper and carrots in as well if you wanted, or mushrooms, but you basically just need onions. Then you add the tuna, add the tomato sauce, reduce it, cook the pasta. That's all you need to do. Right, so I'm just serve up, Brendan. We've got these lovely glass little mixing bowls. You can see the full glory of the pasta there. You see, I would say there's probably too much sauce. Could do with being a bit looser, but that's just me. We could grate cheese on it. It's up to you. I'm not gonna today. Don't want to open the packet. We don't need it. What do you think, Brendan?
No, leave it as is. Looks great.
Do you want cheese on yours?
No, I'm fine with that, thank you.
You can take that home and
give it the kids.
Give it the kids. You could use that in a packed lunch if your kids don't like eating school dinners. Put that in a container. That's lunch tomorrow, isn't it? Don't throw anything away. There you go, Brendan. Oh, I haven't given you much, Brendan, have I? Look at that. He's quite a big boy, you know. He needs feeding.
I'll be wasting away.
Well, there's no danger of that.
Easy target.
So that's mine.
So that's week 1, session 1.
Well, session 1, isn't it? So we'll be repeating some of the things over and over again. I think the most important thing is how you shop. Okay, have things in your cupboards if you can, and think, you know, how can I make what's in the cupboard, buy a few extras and make it into a lovely meal. And it's the principles of cooking, I think. Thank you very much.